Do you feel like it takes forever for you to have a TPT product or an idea for a product in your mind and take it from actual idea into creating it and then uploading it to TPT? If you do, this is the video for you because I'm going to walk you through my TPT product checklist and my system for how I take a product from start to finish. It's super simple, makes sure I don't forget anything and nothing falls through the cracks, and it makes things so much faster. So if you're here for that, then stay tuned for the rest of this video. If you're new here, my name is Rainey Barton. I am an elementary music teacher. I actually have a channel for that. It's called Whimsically Musical Teacher. You can find it. I'll link it down below. But I also am a teacherpreneur productivity mentor. And so I help teacherpreneurs master their time and energy while scaling their biz so that they can ditch the hustle and grind, break up with busy, and stop sacrificing their mental health and sanity. And so that's why I created this channel, so that you can get all sorts of productivity tips and tricks, but also teacher seller tips and tricks so that you can be the best teacher seller you can be and work less and make more. That is the whole motto behind anything and everything that I do. And so we are going to be talking a lot today about my actual product creation workflow, and I actually have a checklist for you, a free one for you underneath this video, so make sure to snag it up. And I talk about a couple of other things in this video. Some of these things have to be purchased through my batching breakdown course, which is for teacher sellers. It basically turns you into a batching and systems extraordinaire, gives you a little behind the scenes of how I run my business. So if you're interested in that, the course will be ready for launch on June 14th. I had to push it back a week due to trying to finish it up, but I'll have the waitlist down below because there will be a special discount for you early birds. But with that, we are just going to dive right on into this product creation workflow and what I do to take a product from start to finish. The first thing I do is actually open my template folder and open all of the documents that I'm going to need for this session. So in my template folder, I have a product template, a preview template, a thumbnails template, and a terms of use template. And I'm just going to walk you through really quickly what those look like and why you need a templates folder on your desktop. Okay, so excuse my desktop, it's a little messy. You might not think it is, but ideally everything exists in one of these things, which I'll actually make probably a video on how I created these because I get asked about them all the time. Anyway, we're here for templates. Okay, so in my TPT stuff, that's where I host it. I have a templates folder, and I'm just going to open what I need. So let's start with template new product. Every time I have a new product, I copy and paste this, and typically this is what my products will all look like. I'll insert the title, what it is. I normally say what musical concepts it's great for because I'm a music teacher, the teaching process, so how to actually use this, and then just like other ones using the font that I always use. So I already have this ready to go, so that every time I'm making a new product, I would just copy it. I'll paste it in here, and then I'll put the name of the new product. So let's pretend I'm making a music, that's a terrible spelling, but music rhythm game. Anyway, then that's all cut out for me, and I don't have to worry about any of that. So definitely have a template for new product. Then my README is my terms of use that I have for every product. I have a vertical version of it, which really quickly I'll just go through what I have in it. I just have a little thank you for it, what you can and cannot do with the product. Make sure to leave feedback, and this links to my shop. Related products, my social media links, and then thank yous to the font and clip artist that I used for this product. I have a vertical version and I have a horizontal template as well, so that depending on what type of resource mine is, I can just add it at the end, or I can just add it as a PDF. Either one works. I also have a preview template because most of my previews are basically the same. This is my cover photo that you'll find for all of my products so that I have consistency across the board. I talked about consistency a lot in my how to spruce up your TPT shop video, so I'll link above in case you missed that one. And then these are just what I do. I put the word preview over it all so that nobody just steals all my stuff, because that's literally the worst when people steal your stuff. So that is my preview template. And then yeah, that's all it is for templates. So the other ones you'll see in a little bit. But it's really important to have a templates folder instead of having to recreate the wheel. Because back when I didn't have this template folder, I would be like, oh, I have to go and dig through all of my old products and then copy the preview and then do it over here. Now it's literally all one swoop. Open the template folder. Voila, done. Bam. Then the next thing if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at the checklist so that I keep track with what is next. So the next thing on the list is to brainstorm your product. I actually have a new product creation planning sheet that I take mine through. I'll just show it really quickly. You can recreate it yourself. That's not included. But I brainstorm the product and I write out a lot of things about like, what's the purpose of the product? Is it going to be a seasonal product? Like, why am I making it? What grade levels is it for? All of that best sorts of things. And then I also will research similar products just to compare pricing going forward so that I know like how big I want to make this product and all of those things. Then I actually create my resource, and there's a couple of important things that you need to do when creating a resource. And so we are just going to talk through some of the most common things that you need to be doing with every single resource that you create. Okay, we're back in the templates folder. Let's talk about once you've actually created a product. So this is one of my products that I've created. It's actually one that does really, really well for me. It's my virtual music field trip to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for grades 1 and 2. It sells like every day. Anyway, the important thing is at the bottom, I have when I created it, copyright every single time. I just put my actual store name, Whimsically Musical, and the year that I created it. Why is that important? It's because if somebody else comes up with something that is literally the exact same, I can prove that mine has already existed for longer than theirs because I made it in this year. So make sure that you have copyright on every single page of all of your things. It's on every single page. Copyright is important. Some people also like to do a watermark. I don't go that far, but a watermark is basically an opaque like thing of your logo or your name that you could even put behind the slide. It makes it a lot more secured. So that's something to definitely look into as well. Outside of the copywriting, you also want to make sure that you when you flatten and secure all of your images, you want to flatten and secure everything. So what that means is, if you look at this, okay, this is not a good example because this is the original, so it's not when it was all done. So I'm going to get the actual one really quickly. So I'll be back in a hot sec. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? Okay, so what flattening and securing means is if you look at this, I cannot drag and drop this background. I can't drag and drop the clip art. I can't drag and drop the font. I can't move anything because I flattened and secured it. Whereas in my other one, I could move the background. And so I can steal all of that. I could steal this clip art. I could steal this background from you. And I had to pay for this image and I paid for this clip art. And it's in most clip art and font people's terms of use that you cannot have it not secured and flattened. So typically, what most people will do to flatten and secure their images, it doesn't always secure the background though, which is why what I show you is going to flatten the background. Anyway, typically when people want to do that, they'll file and they'll save as a JPEG, and each of these will turn into a JPEG, and then you'll have to actually insert each photo in. So then all of this is tied together, but you could steal all of it together in one foul swoop instead of just the background. So how to make it like this is through Flatpak. Flatpak is an add-on. It was about 60 or 70 bucks, purchased through Bearwood Labs. I will link to it down below, and it is one of the best purchases I ever made because now it takes me like 20 seconds to flatten my products. So all you do when you're done with your product is you go over here and you click Create PowerPoint in Flatpak and Save As, and it will immediately do all of this for you so that everything is flattened and secured. And if you want to secure it as a PDF, instead of having to, because I used to use Adobe and you would have to set a password and all this stuff to secure it, and it was $10 a month, now I don't have to pay anymore because it'll secure it as a PDF here as well, and it's perfectly safe and secure. Same exact thing, you click Create PDF and you name it. All there in one sitting. Now, I will say with this though, if there are things that you want people to be able to click on and you do not hyperlink it first and save it through Flatpak, it's not going to work. So let's say, for example, let's go back to the one that I can actually edit. Let's say that you want them to be able to click on this golden ticket. You would go to Flatpak, click on this, and click Do Not Flatten. Because if you don't click that, and it's like this, then when you save it, they're not going to be able to click on it because you flattened it. So if you want them to be able to click on this, then you need to make it flattened. Now, if you don't want them to steal this, so for example, I don't want them to steal that clip art still, then what you have to do, a workaround, is you have to insert a shape. So let's pretend this, and you would insert it around the whole thing, and you would make it opaque, and then you would ask Do Not Flatten to that, so that they still flattened the actual golden ticket, but they didn't flatten the shape around it. So that takes a little bit of time, but honestly, it saves you so much time, just the flattening and securing portion of this. So if you learn nothing else from this video, that is the most important thing I want you to take away from this, is flatten and secure your resources. You do not want you to get screwed over and violate terms of use for clip arts and fonts. Especially if you use the same people over and over, that would really suck, like I do. Now, while I'm here, let's also talk about covers, because the next thing that you want to do is make sure you have a high quality cover image. And like I said in my consistent in how to spruce up your TPT shop thing, cover images are really important. So I'm just going to show you what my product covers used to look like, what they look like now, and why it's important in what you want to have in your covers. So this was the first one that I really made. I have it. Most of my products look like this right now. it doesn't even look that bad. It looks pretty uniform. However, people were saying that they couldn't really read this because this used to be a different font. It used to be a scripted font and nobody could read it. I don't even have the oldest version because I deleted it. But everything looks fine. It's in a nice little mock-up. It's super cute. So then I tried to experiment. Oh, maybe I'll change the color of these words, and here's more script font. That did not work. And then I got closer, and I was like, okay, I'll use all of my brand colors around the border, and I'll use these words still, but I still didn't really like this, and I just wasn't vibing with it. And this was the thing for me. So under here, at the bottom is typically where I'll put, like, what grade it's for. This is not for a grade level, per se. Like, all the grades could use it for music. So I just put as a day in the life. But in another product that I have, like that Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory one, it looks like this now, but at the bottom it says grades 1 and 2. And so it's really big. Everybody can see it. The reason that that's important is when you go over to TPT, just because it looks like a here doesn't mean that it's easily readable. So what I will do when I'm creating this is typically how big it'll be on TPT when you see it, like, you know, when you're scrolling products. If you can't read all of this, it's probably not good. So let's do, for example, this one. You really can't read that from afar. It's kind of hard to read. And this is a little bit better, but I can't read what that blue stuff says. Can you? Way easier to read this. So I also recommend sticking away from scripted fonts if you can, because it's really just not helping you. So a cover is the next thing that you need to really focus and spend some energy on. Then you need to make your PDF preview, and you need to add your watermark or your overlay to every page to prevent copying. There are several different types of previews that you could do, and I'm going to have a cutaway to both of mine right now. So one way you could have it is just simply by having little things at the top that say what is included within the product. So for example, in this Ella Fitzgerald one, I say exactly what they're going to get within each of the products. So that's a really simple, easy way to do it. And then another way you could do it is if your product is smaller and you don't really have enough slides or things to constitute a good preview, you could just do the entire product and just put preview in big, giant font over it so that nobody steals it. Because I've seen things before where people do that and they don't have the preview thing over it or anything over it. So for example, they're doing like flashcards and the people just steal their entire flashcard set and make it for their classroom, or they just create the product again themselves. But when you have giant preview over the top, that seems to deter people from stealing your stuff. So there's not a perfect way to do previews. You just want to let the audience and viewers see more of what they're getting in that product so that they can really make a good judgment decision before they buy it, because you don't want for people to buy it and say, this is not what I thought it was. The preview should really solidify that for them. And then if you want to make it even better, you can make a video preview, which is where you really show your product in action. There are lots of ways to do this, whether you're actually doing product photography and you're actually like showing with your hands, like coloring things in, cutting things out. If it's for example, my virtual music field trip, I'll typically just click play and just go through all of the slides so that they can see exactly what it looks like. Or if it's a digital resource, then you need to be a little more creative because they won't let you have a video preview. Why, I don't know. You have to make an animated GIF. And so my friend made a really great video on how to do that, and I learned it from her. So I'm just going to link her video down below and give her all the credit. But I use animated GIFs for almost all of my digital products now, and it's been amazing. So make sure video preview is also something that you are looking into. Then it's time to create your thumbnails and make sure that they are clear quality and they show really great photos of the resource. You're going to want to have 3 because you can have your cover photo and 3 thumbnails. You want to make sure that they're high quality and that they just show more of the product. So typically mine will just say preview on it, and then it'll have 2 more images and 2 more images and 2 more images so that they get to see 6 more images of what my products look like, because most of mine are digital. As music teachers, we don't do too much that's not digital. So just make sure that however you want to do it, resource and action shots are the best. So that's where you do product photography. So you might have a bunch of your pictures with like crayons and different things around it, and you take pictures. Using mock-ups is a really great thing to do, but just giving your audience as many options as they can to know what your product is, from the cover to the 3 thumbnails to the preview to the video preview, so that they make the best educated decision in purchasing your product. Then you want to do a final check of all your resources. You want to make sure all of your hyperlinks work. You want to make sure for spelling errors, have somebody else proofread it, because I always think that I catch everything and then I definitely don't. And then I'll get a comment from like someone saying, oh, this was misspelled or this was messed up, and I'm like, dang it, I should have let somebody else proofread it. I make my husband proofread my stuff now. Whether he likes it or not, he does. So get somebody to proofread it. Then it's time to write the product description in Google Docs. I always write it in Google Docs first. So this is the Bearwood Labs product description thing that I bought, and it's pretty amazing. So it has all of my products over here. So let's say that I typically will just take one of my products and just copy the same thing over to a new product. and then I'll edit it. So let's pretend I just created this Aretha Franklin virtual music field trip one, and I wanted to add, the reason I like this is because for related resources, it's a lot easier to add them than you having to go and individually getting the link and hyperlinking it on TPT. This is a better way to do it. So what you're going to do is you'll have your product description all right here. You're going to click on add related products, and it has all of the products in your shop. So for example, this is a virtual music field trip. So if I wanted to add all my other virtual music field trips, I would just type virtual. These are all my virtual music field trips, and I would just check all of these, which I'm not going to right now. And it would add all of the product links right there. And it takes 5 seconds compared to where you have to go and find the product and then add the hyperlink and all of those things. And then you'll save to the new TPT editor. And then all you have to do is it'll take you to the actual edit page of your TPT product. It opens it for you. You copy paste. Voila, you're done. Literally one of the also best purchases that I've made for TPT. So if you're tired of having to do that whole thing where you find the link and then you highlight it on TPT and that, do this. It'll even show you what it looks like on TPT. Look at that. That's the stuff of beauty right there. Now, I'm not going to go over exactly what all is in my product descriptions. I think it'd be better to do an individual video on that. If you want to see, you can just literally go to my store and look at my product descriptions for now. But we'll be here forever if I explain it in this second. But that's the next thing that you do. And then finally, you upload the product to TPT. Make sure to copy and paste in that product description. If you use Bearwood Labs, it does it for you. And then you've uploaded your product to TPT. Now, if I'm trying to streamline things, then I just batch all of this. So if I was going to batch this product creation, I would spend one session working on creating all of the products. Just creating, that's all I would be doing. Then the next one, I would work on just making the previews and just making the thumbnails, because then I have a process, it goes a lot quicker, my brain is in the mood of editing. Then I could go over to writing product descriptions and uploading, because uploading always takes longer than you think it's going to take. So I'd be in the mindset of just writing product description after product description and then uploading. And if you ever see a lot of people end up mass uploading a bunch of products all at the same time, it's probably because they batched, because it's quick and it's efficient. So definitely take time to figure out a batching strategy for you for TPT. But everything that I just said is in this checklist that I'm going to give you underneath this video, so that you can always remember all of the steps and all of the things. Especially because it's kind of hard to remember, oh, I need my terms of use. Oh, did I put copyright on every page? Did I add my watermark? Did I flatten and secure all of my images properly? So this will take all of the guesswork out of that for you. So if you liked this video, please comment down below. What was your favorite thing that you learned about? Was there a new tip you learned about in this video? I would love to know down below. Are there other TPT seller videos that you would like to create? But I'm all about, just saving you time and effort and all of those things. So for now, I'm going to go on, record a couple more videos because it's batch day for me over here. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share so all your friends can get to this channel. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.